Good day, everybody. My name is Todd Standing. We're going to have a fantastic live show today, like we always do. I'm the man that takes people out into the field and has them live interact with our eyewitness of Sasquatch. As always, very excited. This is supposed to be the Wednesday show, but Wednesday is Christmas, so we're doing just our show today. And I'm going to start off the show before we get into the questions with a very exciting topic, because everybody wants to know. Good evening, Blaze and Dave. Thanks for tuning in, guys. So, what happened this year with Todd Standing? Because Todd Standing has at least 2 new pieces of Sasquatch footage. And I had a bunch of incredible encounters involving myself and other individuals that were just amazing. Hello, Kyla, Reese, Soul, Robin, Walker. And what I'm going to talk about, I guess, is since you guys are loyal, devoted, awesome fans that are always on with me, and I'm so grateful to have you guys being on my live chat and supporting me. And I'd like some questions, guys. Let's start going with these questions. I know you smart, awesome people with amazing questions, but give me the questions. In the meantime, I'm going to tell you what the craziest thing that happened. It's going to be in the movie. I had an incident, so I don't want to give it all away. I'm going to start talking about it a little bit. I had an incident that was so crazy. So I'm up on top of a mountain, and I have 2 cameras, and I've burned out one camera. I definitely got a video on that camera. But I put the camera down, and I'm on top of a mountain, and the Sasquatch are just moving around in ways I can't. This is steep ledges, cliffs, a little bit of snow, a little bit of ice. So I got to be careful. You move the wrong way, you're going to die. And I don't really know. There's a ledge over there, but is it a cliff? Am I going to fall? Because I haven't been there before. And the Sasquatch are moving around like, it's their home. They're moving around like they've been there for thousands of years, which I'm sure they have. But I'm trying to be careful. So anyway, so I get the best footage on my my little Canon camera, the one that I shot video 8 of. That's the dark Sasquatch. So I got that piece of footage, and I'm up on the ledge, and there's a Sasquatch down below me, and I can't get so he's down and around, and I'm over on the edge trying to get this shot, and I can see he's pinned against the mountain, and he's pinned where he's like, if the mountain's, I always have to do this backwards, it's hard. So if this is the mountain, he's here, and I'm like over here trying to get this angle by putting my arm out to see if I get him, but my screen won't turn that way, and I know that he's there, and I know that if I push my camera out, I'm gonna get that piece of footage. So I'm doing this, and I slip, and I came over that ledge. I tumbled a little bit, and that's all I'm gonna say about. Well, actually, and so now I can't get back up that ledge where my camera was, and this is supposed to be my last expedition of the year, and I need to get back to my camera, even if it snows. Even if the camera gets wrecked from snow, I wasn't worried because the SD card's inside, it'll be safe. So I fell off, injured myself a little bit, and what happened after that was just absolutely incredible. So that's what you're going to have to wait to see the movie. But I literally slipped off a ledge trying to get some Sasquatch footage. And after the ledge, I got some more Sasquatch footage. And they just were like, they were worried about me, I think, because it was so dangerous up there that, I could fall. And so what happened after that, I talked to Amanda a little bit about it. It's so mind-boggling what happened after that. I mean, we're talking like, like they made contact with me. They had to grab. I was slipping like potentially off the mountain, and a Sasquatch came along and shoved me off and picked me up. So I shouldn't have told you guys that. But anyways, so I had to go back on another expedition just to get my camera, which had the best footage on it, I think. So I have these multiple shots, and the footage is just okay. It's not going to be, because the light was just bad. It was cloudy. I think it was getting dark for one shot, and they were coming around at that dusky spot. And so, I mean, I've been looking at the footage a little bit, and there might be 5 videos. I don't know. I for sure have 2. Let's see, 1. I for sure have 3 shots that I don't know how they're going to turn out, and I haven't been looking through them yet because so much stuff was happening. I was really I didn't know what I got when I was falling off this ledge and sliding down the side of a mountain, and I had my camera, and I just didn't know what kind of footage, like if I was pointing, because there was a Sasquatch right there, and I didn't know if I was pointed at him or what was going on. I'm tumbling around, so and I'm trying to watch it all, because even at the top I'm filming, did I get a Sasquatch here, did I get him over there, because they were just around. And this is my Radium group, and they're the ones that Sasquatch Survivor Man filmed the top of the head of one of these. Jake used to be in this troop. So they're just like a wild bunch, and you just never know what they're gonna do. And they were trying to keep me safe, but they were coming around me. And anyways, there was reasons for the reason. It was all a big plan, and it worked out pretty well. You should know that the only plan I ever did to film a Sasquatch that worked out as well as I wanted it to, the only one time that happened was video 5 with Jake. That's the only time. Every other video I had, it was just I have a plan and I wanted this to happen, and something else happens. So, because the Sasquatch, I just can't, the things that they can do, it's unbelievable. But Jake was a day watcher, and I got him in his spot, and it was just an awesome miracle for video 5. That's the best footage I've ever got. I don't think I have anything as good as video 5 this year. We'll have to have a look. So, but I got some new Sasquatch footage, and I have, this was my plan A, and I had plan B and C, and I think plan B is probably the best plan, and I'll go implement them next year with, but I need a partner out with me that's really tough as nails, and I've got 4 people that can manage that with me, and maybe 4 times I can try this experiment to get footage. So, and 4 just awesome killer, this amazing martial art instructor, crazy athlete, this special forces firefighter, this army ranger guy, like just tough guys. One dude, he's just like he just acts like he's a computer programmer. He looks pretty fit. He looks like a lean, fit kind of guy. And then you see him jogging and hopping across creeks, and you're like, the guy's 5'10", and he's bouncing across a creek that I can barely do at 6'3", and he's just crazy. Like, he's just a humble guy from Alabama who's just the most incredible fit guy. And I love people that are just humble. Oh yeah, I bounce across the creek. Like, you want me to come get you? It's like, no, I can do that. Boing. I'm like, impressive, humble, awesome guy. So anyways, I got quite a few people, and I'm gonna need their help. And new expeditions, I'm just so excited. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the court case this year, how far I can proceed with it. So if it doesn't happen this year, it's going to happen in the next 14 months, I would say. There's going to be a new court case. This time we're going into a gunfight with guns. Last time, the way I would explain the court case is I thought it was a knife fight, and they showed up with guns and whooped my ass. I thought it was about my evidence. It wasn't about evidence. It was about precedence. So I just didn't know. And my lawyer didn't know either. He'd never been into Supreme Court. I couldn't get a Supreme Court lawyer because nobody would work with me. They just thought it was ridiculous, but it's not ridiculous. I go out, again, this year, the time that the Sasquatch made contact with me, thought I was sliding, and he thought I was going to go right over this bad spot of a ledge. I was not. I was going to make it, but then he made sure I didn't make it, or I did make it. And, I'm not going to, this is definitely not going to be a save my life thing. Definitely not. I was okay, and he was just making sure I was okay. But, so that's just amazing, crazy stuff. But so we'll do the court case in the next 14 months. And the court case is going to be hard. I'm going to hit him hard. I'm going to go in and get the precedents. Once you show the judge that there's precedents for this, there's a reason this has been done before in some way. And it's special. So we're going to have to attach it to other things. And we've figured out a way to do that. So, the truth is, law is a rigged game. If you have the law, if you know the law, you can work within the law. I have somebody who knows the law. He's a former, he's a judge, and we have former prosecuting attorneys that know the system. They know what judge to put it in front of, and they know how to present. They know a judge that knows Sasquatch is real. This is the ringer. Watch out, Fish and Wildlife. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this because now you're going to preempt me, but I got a ringer. I got a ringer to get it to trial. I got a guy who knows judges, who knows which judge, who knows a judge that's seen a Sasquatch, a guy that's seen a Sasquatch, and not just a judge, but a prosecuting attorney, all to back me up, all to say, do this, do that channel. This judge that I'm going to go in front of knows they're real and wants me to do this. So he's going to put it through, and then it'll be about the evidence. And what's about the evidence? Bang. It's game on, I win. The evidence, DNA, dermal ridge fingerprints, from the feet, with Jimmy Gilcott. Jeff Meldrum's going to present his track evidence. Eyewitnesses, like, again, judges, doctors, the highest caliber PhDs are all going to come testify. I think I saw a Sasquatch. Like, I'm telling you, there's a police officer. Let's talk about this. This police officer in British Columbia was called out where there was a Sasquatch banging on some guy's house. He came out, he saw it, shined lights on it, scared it off with his sirens. A couple days later, they call them back, and nobody wants to go. Like, I'm not going out. There's a Sasquatch out there. It's the same police officers. I don't want to go either. But he goes back out there, he sees the same Sasquatch, and he's not saying, I saw a guy in a suit, or he doesn't know about Sasquatch. He's like, that's a I saw a Sasquatch. I'm a police officer on duty. I saw a Sasquatch. Where was Fish and Wildlife? Why was this large indigenous primate animal that lives there, indigenous species that lives there, they live there. Sasquatch live there. Why didn't Fish and Wildlife come out and investigate? And I'll tell you the answer. No comment. But that's not going to work anymore. No comment's not going to get you guys off. Fish and Wildlife are going to have to do their job. They're going to recognize this, and I've got even more amazing things happening in Washington. And so let's get some questions. I hope that was a good start to the show. I'm trying. Warner Brothers I have a distributor who's giving me a little bit of money. That's why I'm a researcher too, is because I made that Discovering Bigfoot was such an incredible documentary. That was everything that I had in 10 years, guys. So my next documentary is going to be great. I'm going to be really proud of it, but you can't expect me to match the best footage I've ever got, like Jake's footage. It's going to be exciting. Everything that happened, the events that transpired are amazing. So many things happened that were just amazing, with expeditioners and all the evidence we gathered is just amazing. And it's something I'm very proud of because I've worked so hard for this. But then they'll be Discovering Bigfoot 3, because I know you guys are going to support it, and it's going to go on Netflix again, and it's going to just be so fantastic. I'm so excited to do that. And, so it's a really exciting time, and guns blazing, and I got to expand. I need help. So if anybody wants to help, it's bigfootencounter@gmail.com. Please go there, send an email to Amanda. So Leota Wicks, love your video. Hello, Bob Ways. The Real Cowboy, you think the moon phase has to do with the Sasquatch activity as deer hunter? I know it affects when they come up. Absolutely. I don't study the moon phases. I've had a few colleagues that have, but everything gets crazy in the moon phase. I was a doorman in nightclubs, and when there was a full moon, we'd have 3 times as many fights. You know what I mean? So moon phase, absolutely. The forest is alive. And a lot of times I'll go out and I'll have this incredible night, and I just forgot that it was a full moon. Because the other thing too is full moons, it's not something I pay a lot of attention to, because we get cloud cover so much. If there's a cloud cover, I don't know, it's a little brighter, but if it's black clouds, if it's raining, then you don't even notice the full moon, right? So, and moon phases are just nothing I've ever been. Here's a question that I wouldn't answer. If it's a full moon and it's raining and cloudy, then what? I don't think you're going to get much movement out of the Sasquatch. So there's a lot of factors. What about wintertime? Are they going to get crazy in the I don't know. Maybe not. So bears don't get crazy in the moon phase in the winter because they're sleeping, right? But it's a good question. It's definitely something that's important. For wolves go nuts in the moon. And the prey animals they get crazy because they're terrified, right? Because the hunters are out. And the darkness is cover for mountain lions. You think the mountain lions would be less active, but that is not the case. They get crazy in a full moon. They're just crazy. And that's 2 mountain lions were scrapping each other one night at a full moon, and I think that was the full moon that really coaxed it. They were just being crazy with each other. And it was something I saw that was pretty amazing. It was back when I had a camera that did extremely poor night vision. I do mediocre night vision. There are cameras that I could get that are much better, but they're just really very expensive, and my budget's still tight, but I'm getting it done. I'm moving forward. So, and when the day comes and someone says, here's a couple $100,000, what can you do? I'm going to take it to the next level and really move this research forward. The technology's there, and we can do this. So what would be one of the scariest experience you've had while being around Bigfoot? I get asked that quite a bit. And let's just go about in the last couple years. It was crazy scary when the Sasquatch were coming around the tent, back when I was in a tent, and they were baking. I was talking about that yesterday. What other scary? Well, even just I'll talk about. No, let's do scary. What scares me? Firefighter, Special Forces firefighter, Captain Firefighter William was out with me, and we were all done an expedition and wrapping everything up, and then a Sasquatch snapped a tree. It sounded like a bloody gunshot. When a Sasquatch makes a big tree break, cock, they do it so crisp and so sound. It sounds like, I'd say, a 38 special gunshot. Not Magnum. That's the closest thing. And the reason I know it's a tree break, well, there's 2 reasons. Because at the end you can hear it goes. Does that make sense? You can hear that little bit of wood snap at the end, not the beginning. Snap! Like, and what they do is they take it and they just be snap, and then you hear at the very end. And another thing, you go over there and you find it, you see it, right? So that was pretty scary. And I don't know, this year, this actually the scariest thing that happened to me this year was a freaking black bear. Holy crap. So I didn't have my guns this year, and oh my god, I was throwing fire at this bear, and then I was using bear bangers. Those things were useless, made in Denmark, completely freaking, out of 4 of them, 1 of them fired. What a crock is that? My freaking life was at stake, you know? And you pay like a bullet. I've never had any bullet. 22, 38, 30, 357 Magnums, 44 Magnums, 44 Specials, 308s, and never had a bullet ever misfire. I fired maybe 1,000 or 2,000 rounds in my life. I have like 4 bear bangers and 3 of the suckers, and a bullet is maybe $1. Not even, right? Way less than $1. And they never fail. You get these stupid bear bangers, they're big fat things, and they charge you like, what, $6-7 each? You get a pack of 4 for $25? Whatever. It's a lot of way more than a bullet. And the freaking things are worthless garbage. I can't say enough bad things about it. You're going to die if you rely on those stupid things for bear. You know, the spray is very reliable, but I just wanted to bear bang that jerk bear, and I had fire around me and stuff, but that's probably why I didn't bear spray him, because the aerosol around it. I was right by the fire, and I kept the fire between him, and he was being predatorial with me, and it was pretty horrible. And the Sasquatch didn't help me. They were definitely. We had a thermal image of them from that night. That show, Mysteries Dakota, what a bunch of, boy, they're twits. But you don't know that till they come out. And they were almost as bad as that other fighting. Like, I've done maybe, I don't know, over 20 programs that I've been on, and the worst one was before. The only bad one I did before was Finding Bigfoot, and that turned out good for me, because people just realized that they're liars and they're very deceitful in what they did. And then this Mysteries Dakota was the second one that was just bad. Like, they just, they got thermal footage of a Sasquatch, and then they didn't discredit it. The stupid woman who's just a moron, completely ignorant, doesn't know about anything, she's a moron, looks at the thermal temperature, goes, it's not body temperature, so it's not the correct temperature for what a body temperature is. Well, idiot, you don't show your external skin temperature is not the same as your internal body temperature, you moron. And nobody knows what the external temperature of a Sasquatch is, you moron. Deers have different external temperatures than a bear, than a mountain lion, you crap. And different parts of the bodies have different external temperatures, you moron. What a moron. And the temperature wasn't matching human internal temperature, so that's out the window. Never mind the fact that it looks like a Sasquatch. It was crawling around right where it should have been. So excellent evidence, and just thrown out the window. Like, how crappy is that? So, but yeah, the black bear thing was bad that happened to me this year. So even had a young grizzly bear, a 3-year-old grizzly bear that was just dicking with me, and he's only 3, but I don't know, they're big. I think a 3-year-old grizzly bear is, over 200 pounds. Yeah, maybe, let's say around 200 pounds, but he's all claw, and, he's just a little, and then the mom comes around, and it's like, this is just bad, and I don't want to shoot bear bangers at it or spray him. So, and I had my Roddy with him, and he was coming for he thought my Roddy was a black bear, I guess, because she's so black and kind of big, but it was a really weird situation. It was concerning for me, very concerning. I didn't enjoy it, especially I just didn't have my guns, because I'm going through the worst divorce of all time. Retarded, right? So that's what it is, though. Anybody who goes to the family law system and family courts, you have my sincerest sympathies. Everybody, you don't go in there and not get destroyed. It ruins your life. That's what they're made for. The judges and the lawyers all know it. Family law is about destroying families. And that's all the good it's done for anybody I've talked to. Patched up a huge cut on his leg with sap. That's correct, Jason Whitney. It was kind of and I don't know what it was, or how they sapped it, or where they got the sap from, or what it was from, but that was crazy. What an awesome. I just have so much respect for the Sasquatch, guys. So much. Again, no wonder they haven't been discovered. When you realize that the native people, the Native Americans, consider them the highest level, there are shaman rituals that the Sasquatch only can perform. That's how mind should be blown right now. There are rituals that the native people only let the Sasquatch perform. There's a ritual that I go to somebody, go, hey, do you have this? And they go, yeah, I have it. I go, who performed it? They go, oh, I just got it. No, you didn't just get it, because the Sasquatch performed that. And if you didn't know that, you didn't have the ritual. And that's how amazing it is. That's maybe why Survivor Man had such amazing success with me. It's because he is a shaman, and he He was doing native rituals, and maybe the Sasquatch taught that to the native people. Smudging, right? With the smoke. He was smudging his cameras. Yeah, Survivor Man is a shaman. He is a shaman. He's a teacher. He's at the highest level of mastery. That's how amazing that guy is. Just totally connected. Jeff Meldrum had success because he's very religious, but he's a very religious man that is just so salt of the earth. He's just wonderful and honest, and he's got so much integrity. So much integrity. It's ridiculous. Anything Jeff Meldrum says, I 100% believe it. Like he's that good. He's that honest. I don't think the man, he's just not able to lie. I've seen him get upset where he tells people that's a bald-faced lie. That's one of his things that he says. He's in his 60s now, I think, 60-ish, and he's conservative. He's a very conservative gentleman. I mean, I don't think I've ever heard him swear. No, I heard him swear twice. Out of all the time I've ever spent with him. And there was a good reason for it. And it wasn't big swears. He never said the F word or anything bad like that. I think he said shit once or something. But he's just so, for those of you who don't know, what a wonderful, awesome, incredibly intelligent man. This discovery, everybody should be always immensely grateful for what Jeff Meldrum has brought to the table, what he's done and what he's accomplished. And he asked for nothing in return. He's doing seminars now. He's speaking a lot, which is wonderful. Just so wonderful, so great. And he gets paid for that stuff, and that's not much, but he gets something. It certainly does more than recuperate his costs. And I just can't say enough good things about him. And John Bitternagel, same thing. I'm saying this because this is why these people had success. This is why Jeff Meldrum saw Sasquatch. And as wholesome as Jeff Meldrum is, there's John Bitternagel who's a little bit more wholesome and wonderful, and he's passed away. But that's why John Bitternagel had success. And but you got to be. I think to make a discovery that's being a discovery like this, guys, where the governments know it's real. So many people know it's real, and they're really covering this up. Really, really, really. That's why Fish and Wildlife say no comment with Sasquatch, because they know they exist. If they said Sasquatch, they'll never say Sasquatch doesn't exist, because then I could sue them and I would win, because now you're saying I'm a liar, defamation of character, gotcha. Now we go to trial. But they've never said that because they knew this was coming and they planned for it. So, and you've got to understand that. They preempt it. When they're preempting you, they have a preemptive plan what to do when a man comes around asking about Sasquatch. No comment. There's a reason for that. That's planning. That's organization. That is it. That's done. They know. So I didn't make no apologies for it. They know. So that's why you have to be brave. And it's a fight. It is a fight to push this forward, to make this happen. It's a fight. And you can ask, John Bitternagel says that, and Jeff Meldrum has been struggling with that recognition. And Survivor Man is doing amazing things now. And I'm so grateful for these great men who have jumped on board for the reason of wanting to make the world, bringing honesty and integrity to the world. And how could I just not admire and think the world of those men? It makes me feel wonderful and pleasure and joy in my heart to think I'm a child of their teachings, and I'm very proud of myself for and grateful to myself mostly that I had the opportunity to work with such great men. In your movie, I see something that looks interesting here. Where is it now? I bump up and down. Have you ever noticed weird habits from Bigfoot before or after thunderstorms? Eric, rain, no. Rain just gets rid of them. They just don't come out in the rain. And this is gorillas, chimpanzees, orangutans, all don't like the rain. So I find thunderstorms just gone. So nothing at all. I get nothing in thunderstorms. I'll go home. No, I don't go home. I wait for the rain to go. Because thunderstorms are usually pretty short-lived, right? And if I'm out there on 7 days, I just wait for the rain to go. But I get nothing in thunderstorms. Drones don't work. Be smart. Ryan Curtis. Yeah, drones would be great. The blimp drones would be great. That's what I want to use. Jill says you're so right about family court. I'm sorry. Let's just stick to Bigfoot too, guys. I don't want to, everybody has their problems and stuff with, life. Life just can kick your ass sometimes, right? And courts are bad. Are Bigfoot Neanderthals? Lloyd Pyle thought so. No. No way. So no, just no. Just based on, this is from another weird Pelagian giants. No disrespect to Lloyd Pyle. I think Lloyd Pyle had a lot of good points. There's absolutely no way, just based on the foot anatomy alone. The foot anatomy, the man I was just talking about, the great Jeff Meldrum, the great Dr. Jeff Meldrum will say, No, I know he will. Mid-tarsal joint, there's nothing. It doesn't. Yeah, so the foot anatomy alone just takes it right out of there. There are different, you get the orangutan and the chimpanzee and the gorilla and humans, right? And then you get let me go over here. So you get the orangutan, the chimpanzee, or no, it goes orangutan, gorilla, chimpanzee, human, Sasquatch, and we're all different lines, right? We're all evolved from the same, all go back to one, but they all branch out differently. And the Sasquatch branched out. Gosh, they branched out away from us probably. So the gorillas and chimpanzees are in Africa, but so they branched out away from us, whatever the species was. This is a long time ago. They're so different, right? So much bigger. 900 pounds. Males are 900. You ever seen, like, if you saw a human being, like, let's just say the average human being male is going to be what? Not even 6 feet, not even 200 pounds is not average, like just in the world, right? So 6 foot, 200 pounds. Average a male Sasquatch is going to be, let's say low end. Let's say they're only 8'6" and 800 pounds. That's huge. That's 4 times the weight, and another 2 feet taller. But just the weight and the size is ridiculously just wow. What a incredible. And yet allegedly that we can. They can breed with human females. I don't like saying that stuff. Adrian Erickson started doing that stuff with me a long time ago. I don't like to use this word, but I hate it. I was like, dude, no, it's going to damage. But it's so, when I have a freaking medical doctor, PhD, showing me the papers, these are the papers, and I'm a medical doctor, and he's an MD, but who got his PhD, but he has a degree in genetics, and he says, this is real, man. This is legit. Like, I did this. This is real. And I trust the man. He's a doctor. And I've had a couple other PhDs tell me this is legit. The DNA is legit. There's human female mitochondria DNA there. What do you say? So I know I'm uncomfortable about it, but I got to suck it up and just, too bad. Suck it up. Like, I'm very uncomfortable when people, for example, tell me there's 12-foot tall Sasquatch that weigh 2,000 pounds. I'm like, no. I almost want to say, shut up. But then the guys that are saying it, like, are so credible. These guys that are saying it have taught me things. I was like, shut up, and then they were right. There's triangles and these different little weird things on the ground. They were everywhere. He's like, Sasquatch. He's convinced me it was Sasquatch. And in the beginning, I was like, can you just stop saying that? You're bugging me. But, he was right. And now he's telling me there's a 12-foot Sasquatch that weighs 2,000 pounds. And I go, no, shut up. Just be quiet. I don't even believe it for a second. And yet I expect people to believe me about Sasquatch. They're 9 feet tall, 900 pounds. You tell it to a primatologist, and they tell me, shut up, you're crazy. So it's those levels, right? And I'm talking colleagues that I just adore, and I think the world of, are telling me there's 12-foot tall Sasquatches, and but we still have a wonderful friendship. You got to agree to disagree with your friends. Some people, I don't drink, and people don't make me drink when I go out, and they appreciate that. Or you can hate me because I don't drink and think I'm a jerk. And some people think that way too, that if you're not going to drink with us, get the hell out of here. So my point is, let's try to get along. Let's try to cooperate. Cooperation is powerful. And the differences are what make this move forward and make us great, So they sound like Japanese people. I disagree. I've never heard that Japanese sound. And the Japanese sounds that I've heard, I don't think were authentic, but it could be wrong. I could totally be wrong. I don't think that was, I heard those. I think the people that doing those, I caught them doing fake tracks. So if I catch people faking stuff, then no deal anymore. I get people saying that these well-respected Bigfoot guys are saying, well, video 2 and 3 are real, 4 is a fake, 8's real, 5's like, what the hell, man? They're all real. So I'm making fake ones and then making real ones and fake ones, and what the hell? No. So it's just they're all real. And I tell people that, look, if you believe I'm a liar, then you just suck it up. Just say that you don't believe me, and if you think I'm not telling the truth, then fine, go away. But don't say that some's real. It's all real. That's my stance. And if you think you see a chink in my armor, I suggest you just I don't know. Don't worry. Just stand back and let the rest of us that are on this side of the cooperation. My cooperation is like the discovery of Bigfoot. I love to help people. Across every boundary. I don't, like John and Jeff. They're not members of anything to my knowledge, and they just want to make the research happen and move forward. So, They were part of the Discovering Bigfoot process with me. They were part of that documentary. And I'll always be so grateful to them. SoCal Forest Ninjas! SoCal Forest SRG. They call them samurai chatter. Yeah, and I've never heard the samurai chatter. And the videos I've heard of it, just my heart tells me no. You got to go with what your heart says. And I've been wrong many times before. That's my opinion. When I give my opinion, please take it with a grain of salt, because I'm wrong all the time about this discovery. You hypothesize and then you find out it wasn't right, but then you find the right answer, and that's how you move forward in a discovery. So they're discovering new things about gorillas and chimpanzees and new species every day. Every month there's something. It's amazing. Hey Todd, is Bigfoot the first humans? No, they're just totally different. They're totally different. What am I calling them? Homo Americana. They're a Homo species. Homo Americanus, I call them. So a Homo sapien. They're a totally different branch of Homo sapien. Doug S. Todd, I know Sasquatch stay in caves during the winter. That's my theory. That's just my theory too. What I don't get is how they're able to stay warm during the minus 35 Alberta weather in that right? And cuddle, Doug. This is from Doug S. Like, it's cold. Isn't it brutal? Minus 35, man. I think they're just in a cave. And, if there's 20 Sasquatch in a cave, they're all going to be releasing body heat. And if there's a way to close the entranceway, which I've seen them do, I've seen them put little nest things over the entrances, pine boughs, and they hey, Phil. Thanks for coming on, Phil. So they're going to close the entrance, they're going to emanate body heat, and they're going to have to suck it up and stay warm. That's it. It's going to be hard. It's going to be brutal hard. Minus 35 though, they could really keep a cave. If it's minus 40 outside and they're out of the wind chill, I think they could keep a cave with their body heat. I think they could keep a cave around minus 10, and that would be enough for them to sleep. Remember, they're tough, man. They're tough. And now I'm doing Iceman training. Iceman training, Wim Hof. I am a student of the Iceman, and this has made such a difference. I have expeditioners that did Iceman training with me, and it saved them. In the week that they were out there, we were Iceman training, and we were learning, and we had to go through glacier water, and they had to take their shoes off, and it was hard. It was a long creek, and they barely made it. They were like ready to tap. They made it because we have Iceman training. You can adapt your body. What Wim Hof teaches, I'm a student. I recommend him. He is the real deal. Everything about him, his breathing techniques, the methods that he does, it's amazing. And it's you work your way into it, and you get better and better. And I did it, and it's real. I mean, people are using ice to help make their body healthier. He fights disease and illnesses with it, and it helps. It just does all these incredible things. It's amazing. And can you imagine Sasquatch that never leave, that are always in the winter? They're always Iceman trained. They're tough as nails, right? So it's their home. So they're adapted to it, and they can manage it. So they have the body fat composition. And that's it. So Rebecca Minroy, Todd, do you think you will ever see Jake again? That hurts my feelings to think about that, because that was like, yeah, he's my friend. It make me teary-eyed, because I don't think so. So I don't know. I miss him. He was awesome. So open your mind and keep it open to it. DJ Moore, I see 7-inch wild dog tracks. 7-inch wild dog tracks? I don't know. That's good. That's 7-inch wild dog. That's huge. So you're talking those direwolf kind of things. And didn't they really exist? I'm not an expert, so I don't know. Eric, thank you, Todd. I heard loud screams before and after the thunderstorms. Oh, okay. I hear the central Pennsylvania as if they were trying to locate each other. This happens a lot here in the spring. Well, Eric, yeah, I don't know. I think sometimes they would use that to locate each other. Maybe I've seen the big male of a group come out when the younger males were having fun coming around me, and I've seen the big male come out and go "Bah!" and then everything stops. But for the most part, I don't think those screams are for the Sasquatch. And I can't say that. Of course, they're going to be a lot for the Sasquatch. I just like this year. I didn't get a lot of calls back, but I felt like every call this year was to me. I call out to them, and they whoop, whoop, and they call back from different positions. They weren't trying to communicate with the expeditioners that witnessed that. Said, "Hey, they're talking to each other." I'm like, "No way." And what was cool too is the expeditioners that were out with me. I just let them Freudian tell me what they really thought, and all of them said that female that was over there and that male. And I agree, it sounded like a girl over there and a boy over there, definitively. And after they were all done talking about it, I said, hey, did you all just realize that you said female, male? Do you know how significant that is? And then we went and found the trackway, not of the male, because the male was just being a crazy dude in a really weird spot, but the female was in a tight area, and we found her trackway. And lo and behold, what did we find? A lighter, thinner foot. That's where we heard the female. Isn't that amazing? You gotta understand, when you're on an expedition, and you know what a hella middle of nowhere place this is, and what this is nighttime, and something that can scream louder than a human being. And it's not a megaphone. You can't say that. That's out of the picture. There's no crackle. It's just this beautiful primate call. And then you go over there and you find where that individual stepped. You know what a wonderful feeling that is? To experience that is just such a miracle. Such a miracle. And I get to do that that's my life, is to do stuff and never get tired of it. Never get tired of substantiating the truth. And it's heavy. It's still a heavy giant primate with the morphology, with the mid-tarsal joint and the morphology of a Sasquatch footprint, but it's a little thinner, a little lighter. That's a female, and we heard a female. So, wonder, can you get it? You get how that would be to be out there and go, that's a Sasquatch. Wow. Todd Standing, you're telling the truth. And I go, yeah, don't take my word for it. Come out with me and I show you. And they get excited like I get excited. I never get tired of that. I'll never get tired of that. That is just, wow, that just happened. And then as a tracker, we go, we work hard too. We work hard, man. I teach some tracking skills and we go out there. I always, 90% of the time I'm the one that finds the tracks. But, because I'm the trained tracker, but they get out there and then they find them and look, and there they are, and you see them and you know that the Sasquatch was there. And you can put your foot in that. I get people to do that. I'm like, put your foot in there, feel it. You're barefoot, you know what I mean? Feel it. You're stepping where one of the most mystical, incredible beings that live on this planet put its foot, his or her foot. That is magic. Every time I do that, and if you're spiritual enough, you'll feel the energy of that and love that experience. And then the Sasquatch are probably watching us while we do that, most likely watching us, going, "That's pretty cool." The reverence that we have, you can see, we're not like kicking it and being. We're like, it looks like holy. It's a holy relic, and we admire and respect it, and take pictures of it, and are excited about it. And then the Sasquatch see that, and then they come around more. Oh, they're excited to see me. They're excited to meet me. They're being respectful to me. They're putting apples out there because they admire me and respect being in my home. It's their home, and then they appreciate us as visitors, and they come around more. So it's possible for a Sasquatch to be 10 feet tall. I totally agree, Johnny. And you know what? I would defer to that. The bears here, the grizzly bears that we have, compared to the brown bears, the brown bears up in Alaska are way bigger. And when you get the salmon spawning and stuff, like the Kodiaks, they're freaking enormous. So I bet you the Sasquatch up in Alaska are going to be 10 feet tall. I bet you. I would bet it. The bears I've seen, oh my God, in Alaska, they're enormous. We don't have bears that big. They're freaking giant beasts. It's scary. What is that? That's a bear? Oh my God. The bear tracks. Huge, right? So brown bears are big. When they get that's crazy. So the Sasquatch and the moose are crazy big in Alaska, right? Crazy. They're enormous. We do not have moose that big. You're talking 20% larger. You know what I mean? Like, let's just say if our grizzly bears can get around 600-700 pounds, those grizzly bears are getting 900 pounds, 950. Oh my God, that's so big. The teeth and they're just not fat. They're just bigger like that. The Sasquatch are going to be bigger like that. It's simple. And the further you go north, the bigger things get. So the Texas Sasquatch might be 8'6", and then the Sasquatch I get around here are 9-footers, and that's right, just 9, maybe a little more than 9 feet tall. And then you go up to Alaska, and yeah, in fact, it's not just a possibility. I would say it's a calculable scientific reality. Yes, they will be 10 feet tall. They will weigh over 1,000 pounds. But when you talk about 12 feet tall, and you're talking 2,000 pounds, that is stop. So, and my colleagues are saying, "Oh yes," and I go, "Shut up, don't do it, because you're making us look like a bunch of crazy men." Maybe I am. Maybe I'm a crazy guy, right? I don't believe Sasquatch are real. I want people to. If you've seen a Sasquatch, you know they're real. You know it. So, Phil says, "I know about 401 Dave P does not outright say Bigfoot takes people." He doesn't. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm hearing things and I'm meeting people that have to do with David Pilates, and I'm just seeing more and more evidence of his integrity and his. I'm just impressed. I just keep getting impressed. There were some things in the beginning, just by affiliation, like, oh, he's working with those people. That's not good. Those are not good people. But he seems to have shed a lot of that. And, maybe there are people that I worked with that just turn out to be not great people. It happens all the time. What are you going to do? It's life, right? You build relationships and they fall apart. You just keep moving forward. And I'm seeing a lot of stuff that you just got to go, that's pretty impressive. And I admire what's being done there. I admire what's being done with him. In fact, I'd like to reach out with him and help him with some stuff. I have some connections that I think could really help him out. So I got to make a point of doing that. So there have been giant people before, so maybe. So this is Becky. Yeah. Northwest Chef Videos. Do you feel like they're more welcome socially by the Sasquatch family also? I don't know what that means. Do you feel you are more welcome socially by the Sasquatch family? Well, I've never had any interactions with an individual male. I've heard an incredible story about an individual male that might have lived with a native woman for a long time, over a decade. But I've never had any interactions with anything other than a family group. Never a lone male or female. Never. So, at least not to my knowledge. So, it would be so rare. But I would feel, yes, because if it's a lone rogue male, he's got to be more defensive, he's got to be more distant, he's got to be more cautious, and a rogue male, right? Just by definition, he's going to be a little more hostile. What I get success with, I think one of the main reasons I get success is I get the dominant male in the troop allows the younger males and females now that I'm seeing to come around me. He allows that to happen. So yes, and he lets them go play because I'm no threat to them. When he sees I'm no threat, and maybe he even encourages it. Maybe he's the one telling them to go out there. I don't know. Maybe that's probably the case. So if he disapproves, if he says no, I get nothing. But it's young males, right? So, and other males that I would, let's say I do find a lone male, what's he looking for? He's looking for a group. He's looking to go dominate a group or start a group, right? So he's probably going to be much less interested in me. And the fact that I am a male, right? So, yeah, and I have guys coming out on expedition, 2 of them, just like, oh, that girl, that beautiful Sasquatch female, and I talk about her, and then she comes around, and she's there, and I'm like, I didn't know. That's how it first came out with the Sasquatch females, is 2 different expeditioners from different expeditions. We're talking about that, my girl, they called her my girl, both of them, and they don't know each other, they don't know anything about each other, and both of them say, my girl, they're collecting flowers for my girl and putting flowers out as gifts. And then at the end of the year, their girl came around and I saw her. She looked just like the Patterson female. So another one of the hundreds of reasons that I will continue to do expeditions. Hundreds of reasons, because I am so impressed with the expeditioners. So impressed with my expeditioners. A lot of them come on here. And man, I'm so impressed. So I believe you, Todd. Thank you, Horst Horizon, Rebecca McCoy. Todd, do you think we will ever see... Oh, yeah, I did that one. I thought I was down here. Phil, of course, he doesn't. He lets you figure it out. It's a plan, simple. A majority are Sasquatch. Don't disrespect these people that have lost kids. And yeah, isn't that... If you're talking about lost kids and stuff, oh my God. Like, that breaks my heart. As a father, I saw a Pilates about a little boy who's clearly... Oh man, sorry, I'm not going to say clearly. The evidence really leans heavily towards a Sasquatch. And that breaks my heart. Breaks my heart that a man may have had his beautiful little boy taken by a Sasquatch. Just heartbreaking. And, but you don't, they're bad bears. They're bad mountain. We don't hate mountain lions. We don't hate wolves. They're bad wolves. Probably. Actually, wolves are pretty good. But they're bad bears, bad mountain lions. There are man-killer bears right now in North America. There are man-killers out there killing men. There are man-killer mountain lions out there right now. And believe it. It's true. I know it. They're there. I've seen them. They want to eat me. They're hunting for me. And there are people out there like me, especially, it's mostly the natives, that know a man-eater and they kill it and they get rid of it because they're out there. They're real. Steve's big name. I've heard samurai chatter once. It wasn't fast like most supposed encounters. It was said slow and deliberate. That's what made it so intimidating. Very interesting, Steve. Thank you for that. And you know what I need? If it is real, I need people like you to keep banging away at it. Okay, Steve says it's real. And, and many people start saying it's real. Maybe I've just never even come close to hearing that at all. I've had a lot of amazing encounters. And none of my personal close colleagues that I've worked with have ever heard that. So, will I be doing any more documentaries soon, Randy Hawthorne? Absolutely. Also, I'm sure you have you've addressed this before, but I believe the Patterson film is the best evidence. I agree. I agree, Randy. It's amazing. And actually, I have 2 documentaries to do right now. I'm supposed to be doing right. I shouldn't be online talking to you awesome, amazing people with these fantastic questions. I should be doing this. What's up with me in Sasquatch, Ontario? I don't know. I don't know. Don't. If it seems like I'm bashing somebody, I apologize because I don't know who the person is that I saw from Ontario that made fake tracks. I saw one person from Ontario that made fake tracks. That's all I know. I don't know if it's Sasquatch, Ontario. I'm not pointing any fingers at anybody. I apologize right now if it seems like I'm doing something to Sasquatch, Ontario. I'm not. I'm saying a man from Ontario took John Bitternagel out and made it and had fake tracks. I don't know anything else about it. So, and if it's Sasquatch, Ontario that had the Japanese sounds, there's Sasquatch in a different place. That could very well be authentic, in my opinion. You know how many times I've been wrong? I'm wrong a lot. This is discovery. People, you have to make a stand, though. What's your opinion? I lean towards, my heart tells me, not likely. It doesn't sound real to me, and I've never heard that before. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. Could they be right? Yes. And I'm not going to be butting heads with anybody. And when it comes to my opinion, you take that with a grain of salt. Please, you must take that with a grain of salt. That is my opinion. I refuse to not give my opinion. You asked for it and you got it. So, and if they know it's real, stand by their stuff. It's real. And eventually the truth will come out and I will be proven wrong. And I'll be so happy when that happens. I'll smile and say, I was completely wrong. So don't stop your work. People question my work. And in the end, people will understand it was true and that's it. Have a good day. So, and anybody who's doing research and getting out there and working for it immediately has my respect. Because this is hard. I don't know anything about Sasquatch, Ontario. Nothing. I've never spoken to anybody. I don't know anything about it. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about that. So, Bigfoot was here before us, and they'll be here after us. They were here before us, most likely in North America. Were they here before the Native Americans, though? When you say us, you mean human beings? I don't know. Were they here? Were they the original primate species here with the bison? But the bison migrated over. And there was 400 million of them here. So who was the original? I don't know. So they were here on Earth, not before us, but they're certainly the indigenous primate species that existed without any form of technology. And I don't know if they'll be here after us. That's big. Jason Whitney. I've got 1,000 videos of Bigfoot. I'm going through them now. Really? So Jason Whitney, if you have 1,000 videos of Bigfoot, would love to see them. You really gotta be. You can't be blob squatchy with me. I get a lot of videos where it's just like there's leaves and then the Sasquatch is exactly the figure of these green leaves. That doesn't work that way. It's leaves. It's green leaves. It's in a face. You take a picture of a rock and it's got a face in it. That's not a Sasquatch. It's a rock. So you really have to have separation between the background. There's 2 things. I want some separation between there being a Sasquatch and nature. It better not be green leaves and a green leaf face. It better not be black rock and then a black rock face. You really have to have some differentiating characteristics. A. B. You must take a photograph of it not being there. You understand? If you get a photograph of a Sasquatch, it's in a spot, a video of it's in a spot, videotape the spot afterwards. And you should be able to go there and get some size references. You know, go there and show me how tall it was or how tall the tree that was there. And you got to figure that stuff. You must do that. You must do that. It's imperative. So, okay, a couple from NC told me a story about riding out on a 4-wheeler in the mountains, was on her menstrual cycle, and went to the bathroom, and a Sasquatch tried grabbing her. She claimed to hit it with a beer bottle. Wow. Believe me, first thing I'll tell you about that, he wasn't trying to grab her. He was trying to not grab her. If a Sasquatch won't try nothing, you're not going to fight a Sasquatch off with a beer bottle. If you have a 10-year-old Sasquatch, he's going to have the strength of a chimpanzee. If he wants you, he's going to get you. Goodbye, a 10-year-old. So you get a big dominant male, he wants you, he's going to get you. So that's the first thing I would say about that. Yeah. And I can't say more than that, though. Yeah, I don't know. That could have happened. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but it wasn't trying to grab her. it scared her a little bit. I mean, a Sasquatch, the power of his hand, he's going to latch on you. You're not going anywhere. You're not going to fight him off with a beer bottle. So no chance of that. You bust a beer bottle over their head, and they're not. You're dealing with powerful primates, guys. Like the power of a Sasquatch, the things I see a young Sasquatch do, the power that they have. You know, like not even exaggerating. A 10-year-old Sasquatch is gonna whoop my ass. Like oh my god, a little 10-year-old Sasquatch is probably gonna be, if he's 100 and, let's say a 10-year-old Sasquatch, a particular 10-year-old Sasquatch is 160 pounds. He is going to rip me limb from limb and destroy me. His primate strength, his muscle fibers, he's going to tear me apart limb from limb. It's going to be unbelievable. A 12-year-old is going to be like, what, 300-400 pounds maybe? A 14-year-old, now you're getting to 5. I'm talking about males. 500-600 pounds, forget about it. A 15-year-old Sasquatch will whoop a bear's ass. I just know this, guys, because I've seen the stride lengths. I've seen the power that must go into a leg to punch a foot into the ground like that. The trees they bust, the things they do. It's terrifying how strong these guys are. It's terrifying. People are the primatologists saying a chimpanzee is so powerful. They're not 200 pounds. They're so powerful. 5 times as strong as a man at, let's say, 180 pounds. And don't quote me on these things. I haven't been studying chimpanzees a long time. A male silverback gorilla, 400 pounds. Beast, right? Twice the size of a man, 10 times as strong. 10 times as strong. Like, they will rip your arm off and beat you to death with it. Oh my God, they're powerful. And all my research just shows definitively Sasquatch are twice the size and more than 3 times as powerful as a gorilla. That's where I'm at right now. 3 times the power. Twice the size. Gorillas are 400, Sasquatch are even a little more than twice this. They're 900 pounds. That's over twice the size. And I'm trying to be conservative with my numbers. We're going to find out that's 950. We're going to find that 9 foot. They're over 9 feet tall, over 900 pounds, over twice the size of a gorilla, and definitively 3 times more powerful. Cold weather muscles, cold weather primates. They're just going to be more powerful by design. They're further north. Cold weather just makes you bigger, stronger. It does. It makes your metabolism faster for survival. We are dealing with, like, I've worked with big Mary Parent, who made The Revenant, and it made King Kong. I've had some dealings with her and her husband Javier, and they make make a movie King Kong. They make superhero movies. They know people that make X-Men and all these I'm like, why are you making superhero movies? You made a movie about Wolverine. He's an X-Men. Yeah, Wolverine would have his freaking adamantium skull ripped in half by a Sasquatch. Why are you making movies about? They were making Planet of the Apes. Sorry. They were making Planet of the Apes, and Sasquatch were watching them make that movie. No word of a lie. I'm in the park where they're filming Planet of the Apes in Canada, and the Sasquatch are right there watching them. Is this crazy? Why are you making a movie Planet of the Apes? Cooler primates are watching you make this darn movie. This is crazy. This is crazy. This world is crazy. So, oh my God, we're talking about women and periods. I'm very uncomfortable on that subject. And so I don't... Anyways, I go out with women. Women go out there. Diane, you want to know something? You better not bash women, because I'm looking for a good girl to do this research with, because the greatest primatologists of all time are Diane Fossey, Jane Goodall, Broody Gattigas. That's chimpanzees, gorillas, and orangutans. Those are the primate species, and they are the top primatologists of all time. There's going to be a woman that comes up with the bonobos. So all 4 primate species besides human beings that we know of, and the primates without tails that are, us, that we're in that list of those primates. The best primatologists of all time, the greatest discoveries have been made by those incredible, amazing women. So don't worry about their menstrual. Don't worry. They're getting it done. I've worked with women, brave women, amazing women. And I need that in this discovery process. The feminine beauty and gentleness of a woman and their thought process is magic. It's amazing. Right? And don't bash it. Don't hold them back. Don't tell them they're menstrual. Don't do that, because I'm going to get upset. They're out there. They're doing it, and we need their help. So, Todd, why won't the government acknowledge Bigfoot? Money. You're going to lose trillions of dollars will be lost immediately on logging and mineral rights and gas and oil. Hundreds of millions, forget that, billions of dollars will be lost probably. It doesn't have to be that way. People don't have to lose their jobs, though. Let's not do that. Okay? This is my compromise. Oil and gas is here. They're doing what they do. Forestry is here. They're doing what they do. There's Sasquatch out there already. Don't stop. Don't hold one permit off. Do nothing. Let's start what they did with the grizzly bears. This is a big scare. So in the Nordegg region, between Nordegg and Hinton, where the Sasquatch that I was researching are, they had a grizzly bear. Somebody's like, the grizzly bears are in danger of the population. They shut down all that logging and industry for 4 years. People lost their jobs. People lost their homes. I don't want that. That's terrible. Terrible. I don't want that. 4 years they did it with grizzly bears. Grizzly bears are a known species. There are biologist grizzly specialists that came in, took them 4 years to say, continue. We're not doing that. Let's not do that with the Sasquatch. Please. We can't, why do we go from it's extreme, we don't even acknowledge them, to it's extreme and destroy industry because now we've acknowledged them? Why do we have to be one or the other? Why is it fascism, capitalism? No. There's a middle ground. Why do we have to get crazy? I don't want to get crazy. That's the wrong thing to do. But that's why the people that know, that's why the governments know that we get crazy. We're going to shut it all down and blah, 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 and all this big things. Let's not do that. I don't want to do that. There's no need for it. The people that are watching me, that are paying attention, I've had the craziest people. I've had satellite dishes pointed at my house and my phone's tapped. All that stuff's happened. People break into my house, steal my stuff. That's happening. It happens. There is conspiracies. There's people out there that know that I'm real. There's stuff going on. There's lots of stuff going on with me. But anyways, let's keep this discovery where people don't have to lose their job. Let's ease into this. We don't have to slam into this. So, hello, Todd from Jimmy Robbins. You've seen different types of species? No, I don't think I have. And if so, what type live in? No, I think they're all the same species, just look different. Again, the facial features, like I have, the headshots is what you're comparing. If you compared the bodies are the same. The same head, the same brows. The cheekbones are a little different. The nose shape is different. I could show you my buddy. I was just watching Star Wars yesterday. The lead guy for Star Wars is a Jewish guy with a big, huge nose. Smaller cheekbones, tighter jaw. Doesn't have a beard. I have a beard. I have more facial hair, right? So people look different. Human beings look different. I don't know how different the Sasquatch are going to look, but they just have different facial features. But their body shapes are the same. The mid-tarsal joint, the anatomy, the way they move are the same. And I've seen more of that. I've never seen a Sasquatch that didn't have the anatomy, didn't have the body shape. Like, when you see a Sasquatch, Jeff Meldrum says, look for a flat face. Look for broader shoulders than hips, right? Because a bear has a nose that sticks out, right? They have that snout with the nose. A primate doesn't. A primate has a pointy top of the head and no ears up top. That's a big thing. Survivormen filmed the top of the head of a Sasquatch. How do I know that? Because bears and mountain lions and deers, everything, they have horns and ears up here. There's no exception in the wilderness. If you see the top of the head and the ears aren't there, and there's no horns or anything, what is it? And the answer is, it's Sasquatch. Look at my Jake photograph. Look at the Patterson footage. The anatomy of their body types is extremely similar. Extremely the same. So the facials have been different. Skin colors have been a little different, right? A little darker maybe, a little blacker, but from black to brown. We have cinnamon brown bears. We have Commodity black bears. Commodities are white black bears. They're not albinos. So, and gosh, we have silver-tipped grizzlies and we have brown bears. They're the same species. Silver-tipped, I filmed this beautiful silver-tip today. It's on my Instagram page. He had so much gorgeous silver on him. He's so beautiful, and he wasn't old. He's a young silver-looking bear, not brown, right? And his facial, his skull and his head looked a little different. It was just different. So you must not know many Americans. Why would you say that? I know lots of Americans. I don't buy that. America, Canada, I'm different because I'm on the other side of the border. No, my government's different. I'm a person just like you. And oh my God, Americans and Canadians, oh my God, we're so similar. Like, the license plates are different. Don't go into Canada, or Canadians don't go into the US thinking you meet a guy and that's what Americans are like. That's a crock. They're different people. You meet a jerk, you meet a nice guy. There are jerks in Canada and jerks in America and nice people on both sides. And, no, don't do that. So don't start separating us. Don't do that. So, especially Canadians and Americans. Wow, we are just so, wow. Are you familiar with that Greta Brat? A Bigfoot will change everything? Nope, I don't know anything about Greta. What do you think of that how to hunt guy? People ask me that a lot, and I talked about that last time. Yes, I think good. I think good. Todd, have you ever seen evidence of dogmen? No, don't do dogmen. Don't know anything about dogmen. Charles Townsend, pronunciation David Pilates. Just wanted to clarify the pronunciation of his name is Pilates. Don't start. I'm terrible at pronouncing stuff, and I apologize. I make no apologies for it. People have just straighten me out. So John Benernagel, I got that right. I know that one. He's my friend. Jason Whitney, your Sasquatch look different than others I've seen, and that's good. Yeah, and there's reasons for that, and we'll get it. When the discovery moves more forward, and we get to that place where we can make those phenotypical variances, then we'll do that. Look at an Eskimo compared to me. They have round, or Inuits. They have round faces. They look at smaller eyes, and they're on the same continent as me. So I'd love to see a silver bear. Well, go to my Instagram page. That silver-tip grizzly that I filmed on my Instagram page. Oh my God, that's Smedley Do-Right. Oh my God, what a beautiful, and I have so much. We were there with that silvertip for, my expeditioners just loved it. They didn't want to go. We were filming that silvertip for, I don't know, 2-3 hours we were there with him. He's just gorgeous, moving around, foraging, really safe distance away. We were 300 yards at least. He saw us, but we were on a road. We had a truck there. And the moment he was just comfortable with us. He was totally cool with us being there. And the moment he just never showed any signs of being upset with us. And if I would have been upsetting him, I would have left. But it was just so awesome. We were using new Canon cameras that have 80 times optical zoom. So Surprise Daily, I agree, Todd. Sylvanica at Bigfoot Odyssey. Real good episode on one of their recent Sisters of the Moon group of 4 women researchers. They have some really good evidence, audio. And good, that's great. Hello from Billings, Montana. I love Montana. There are Sasquatch in Montana. I've seen them in Montana. I've seen footage of Sasquatch in Montana. There are definitely 100% Sasquatch there. Jason Whitney, you have clear, awesome footage, and I could only imagine what it took to get that footage. I know you put everything out there to get. It was hard. Yeah, it's tough, and I'm very proud of that footage. Our government is run by Kamel and Kardashians. People are really stupid. That's what this says in it. I didn't say that. I don't think people are really stupid. People do the best they can. Just got to tell you, Todd, that I truly enjoy listening to you and love your dedication. Thank you so much, Sandra Brill. Okay, Tom Server, I like questions. I think they may get here through strange ways, but once they do, the smart ones may head for the hills and not be bothered. Who knows? Not really a question there. Thank you for your comment. Did you ever think that maybe it's just too clear, my footage? And that's hilarious. That's just people. That's one of the reasons I'm so controversial, because my footage is so clear. Can you believe that crap? Can you believe that? It's too clear to be real. What? So I just blur it up and everybody's happy. If my footage was blurry, I'd be way more popular. Hello, Linda Wolf from Arizona. Thank you for tuning in. That's my girl Daniel from Ontario ITC Research. I like the brown tan looking one. I think you call it Jane. Yeah, the female with the smooth face. So, and it was just my native teacher. I never said female. Then I showed it to my native teacher, I just respect and admire. Whatever he says, yes. Because he's so experienced. He's just such a brilliant wilderness expert. And he smiled and he just told me, oh, you filmed a female. And that was it. It's a female. And the more I've learned, the more I've studied it, the more I've looked at it, I agree. It was a female. I'm firmly convinced it was a female. And he just looked at it and immediately said, wow, you filmed a female. Congratulations. And I went, I did? That's so cool. I thought it was just I don't know. But that's how well he knew the Sasquatch. But he knew the wilderness. Like me, I'm a wilderness guy. I love the animals, and Sasquatch are just out there. And if I get footage of a bear, nobody really cares. If I get footage of a Sasquatch, people, that's what I'm... people don't want to go out and see bears with me. They want to go out and see Sasquatch. And that'll happen, and we'll see bears, and we'll see animals, and we'll do stuff, and cool, but we want Sasquatch. That's what I do. Texas Outlaw Radio, I don't know anything about it. Never heard of it. Todd, why does Sasquatch break branches? Why do they break branches? Just as markers. Some people will break trees and branches and cut slots in trees when they go out. It's markers. It means something. There's a significance to it. Hey Todd, what's your take on the Patterson footage? Is real. It is real. That's my take on it. Scott Green, Todd, what a guy. You're a warrior and so proud of. Well, thanks. Another Canadian. Well, I like to say I'm a Northman, because I am North. I'm a Northman of North America. And yeah, I love the north. I love the snow. I love the cold. There's a big difference between the southern United States and the northern United States in that the temperatures and the species and the terrains are very, very different. Right? I don't know anything about possums. I went to Texas. There's possums and the deer. I'm like, what's wrong with your deer? They're so small. Are they sick? Where's the big deer? How come there's little babies all over? We're the adults, and they were adults because they're so small in Texas. But beautiful, gorgeous terrain. And I find what I'm really excited about doing. I'd love to go to Africa and work with the gorilla trackers, not the big face people, not the PhDs. I want to meet the trackers. I want to learn from the trackers, and I'd like to take a tracker back out here. These trackers have incredible gorilla experience, incredible gorilla knowledge. I am going to meet, one of my dreams is to meet a tracker from Rwanda, a gorilla tracker, meet him, hang out with him, befriend him. I'll find someone who has that chemistry with me. I want to bring him back, and I want to bring him back here and show him a Sasquatch. I think he's going to teach me some stuff, and I think I have so much to learn from that person. There's that person. I dream about meeting that person. I've seen them, and they're amazing, and I want to meet these guys. They're so brave, and they're going to teach me so much. And they're going to have gorilla energy, and that's going to translate. If you can understand that, if you can really understand that, they're going to have this special energy about them because they've been around gorillas so much. They're going to be the second best thing to bringing a gorilla out here. If I brought a gorilla out here, the Sasquatch they would lose their mind. It would be so amazing. Gorillas have very specific, very powerful energy. That is obviously not anything more than a ridiculous. That would be. I'm not bringing a gorilla out here. No way in hell. No. A chimpanzee? No. No way. But a wild gorilla would be awesome. It would be amazing. And so I want to bring the next best thing, a gorilla tracker. Todd Standing's Bigfoot footage took mega hard work to go on an expedition if you doubt him. Exactly, Jason Whitney. So Blaze Silver, what do you think they use as bedding? I don't know. The earth? It's a good question. Sphagnum moss, they sleep on it. Grass, I've seen them make grass beds. But for the most part, I know they're tough. They just sleep wherever. Do you have an idea why we don't see Sasquatch in Quebec? Oh, you're wrong, Pascal, Vincent. There are Sasquatch in Quebec. Northern Quebec, I know for sure. I talk to people that are very authentic. I think Killed by Bigfoot, funny name. I think bears are just amazing, incredible animals. I couldn't agree with you more. Amazing, amazing creatures. But I have such a reverence for species. I don't like bears. I don't want to be around them. I stay away from bears. That's my mentality. But are they magnificent? Are they amazing? Oh my God, what a brilliant, wonderful species. I'm so grateful to have them, the blacks and the browns, right? But at the same token, I stay away from them, and we have, the bears and me have a respect for each other that we stay away from each other. We give each other our space. I'm not out to pet the bears. I'm not out to study the bears. It's not my thing. I want to coexist with them, and that means give them their space. When you go out on an expedition with me, you can film elk. Most of the time you can film moose. You can film wolves. No danger there. Film them. Don't feed them. Film them. Don't feed them, you'll die. But if there's ever a bear or there's ever a mountain lion, everything we are doing is frozen. Reset. Get out of there safely. End the whole day. That's a bear. That's a mountain lion. Day's over. We remove ourselves safely because it's a real danger. And I know the odds are extremely rare, but you don't play with fire. I know how to handle myself. I've always had tremendous success in dealing with bears. I've never been harmed by a bear. I've been charged at. I've been attacked. My sleeping bags have been torn apart. But that's over hundreds of encounters, right? Hundreds and hundreds of encounters. So it's only because I follow the rules. I do not play a game. One time, one of the dumbest things I ever did, I was mountain biking, and there was a female bear on the trail, and I thought, I'll just go around a little bit. I don't want to quit my day. I didn't want to go back up the mountain. And I'm all arrogant about myself, feeling all like I'm okay. And I was with my dog and my son. So we tried to go around in a weird way. And I knew it was a little dangerous. It turned out to be horribly dangerous, and it could have ended up very bad. That was the last time I'll ever dicker around. After that, they live there. It's their freaking home. I'm just visiting. I'm out for a joyride on my mountain bike coming down the mountain. They live there. That's their home. So don't be an arrogant ass like I was. I was an arrogant ass. It was a jerk thing to do. You shut your mouth. You leave them alone. You get the hell away from her. It was a sow with her cubs, and I screwed up. And I'm very, very sorry that I did that. And lesson learned. That was one time. And other than that, I will never. I was with my son, for God's sake. How irresponsible is that? Don't get arrogant. Just because you have a gun, You don't want to, even if you do have a gun, and I'm talking about me. Todd, you were an arrogant jerk that day. I don't care if you have a gun. What are you going to do? Shoot her? Kill the bear? She lives there, you jerk. Don't be a jerk. Give her space. It's her home. Get your. I knew how to get out of there safely. Go back up. Go around. Way around. Miles and miles around. No, I went a little bit around and down. And it screwed up and it was bad. So don't do that stuff. You know what I mean? So there's my thing about it. Remember, we're learning a lot about wilderness. You don't do Bigfoot research without learning about other species, learning about the birds and the deer and the Bigfoot. You got to learn about the grounds. If you're not going to go anywhere. So that's why I will always talk about that stuff. They're connected. I see more bears than I do Bigfoot. Way more. I have way more interactions with bears than Bigfoot. Maybe I'm a better bear expert than I am a Bigfoot expert. And absolutely, that's the truth. When you think about it, I don't really like bears. They're amazing and I respect them and I admire them, but I don't like them. They're not my animal. I don't mesh well with them. And so I stay away from them, but I know way more about bears than I do about... I can read books about bears. They're bear experts. I study them, and I'm tutored by these bear experts. So I know way more about them, I think. So even though my primary... I am totally enamored and love doing the Sasquatch research. Love it. It's amazing. It's wonderful. I not just Sasquatch are amazing, but I love doing the research. I totally love it. I would never do that with bears. So... yeah, but I know more about bears is the point. So you got to go back and read my question about the native girl that got pregnant by I don't want a Jason Whitty. Ugh, I don't want to talk about that stuff. I don't like humans breeding with Sasquatch. It's really, it's not cool. And I don't want to, it's hard enough for me to talk about that stuff. They're just subjects that I'm extremely uncomfortable talking about. And I make no apologies about it. I do have morals and I do have limits. These are realities and these are facts, so I'll talk about the female mitochondria of the Sasquatch, but I don't want to talk about pregnancies and breeding, and that's, oh my God. Yeah, so please, just respect for that. Todd, thanks you and Amanda for your advice on how to deal with Bigfoot that's been knocking the trailer off its foundation. The gifting, the trail cams, the lights have slowed. Oh, really? Good for you, Brian. Man, I'd love to hear more about that, Brian. Sorry, I talk to so many people every day, dozens of people, and so many things about Bigfoot that I do. That's awesome. I'm proud. That's wonderful that you're having. Please give us updates. Tell us about what's going on. That's fantastic. I think there's a good chance that in the next few years I will get to a level where I'd like to have so much like a day, like I'd like to have a Sasquatch channel, like on that Gaia network. Just every day it's a new Sasquatch thing. Sasquatch Pennsylvania, Sasquatch Utah, Sasquatch Alaska. Just every day a new show going on. Some kind of podcast person working or maybe 4 people in Alaska, 4 people in Utah, 4 people in Washington. So you know what I mean? Just tons and tons of stuff going on. And so keep your work going on, and I'd like to build and expand to that level. So, oh snap, I caught him live, haha. Hello, Alex. Yes, you did catch me live. So I'm over an hour. We'll do some more. We'll do another 10 minutes here. I enjoy seeing all of nature's creatures every time I hear them. Red tails stay squawking around, have regularly. He's talking about red-tailed hawks. This is Surprise Daily, along with various types of birds landing on the side of the grass in the way. Yes, that is nature, and birds in nature are wonderful. Frank says, how will SAS ever be revealed to the general population? Well, they have to be. And how? I don't know. Let's try to be gentle. Let's try to be easy about it. So, am I afraid of bears? No. And yes, sometimes they scare me. I don't know. I have a healthy respect for them. You better have some fear. They're incredibly powerful, amazing. Man, they move so fast. They're so amazing. So they're incredible. But the way I see it, to be honest, to be really honest, if I'm out with bear spray, I get a bear banger. Bear bangers are worthless. Bear spray is like I have to use it bear has to be within 20 yards of me. That's like so close. It's way too close. It's so dangerous before I can bear spray them. So, but when I'm out there appropriately with my 44 Magnum, or I'm armed, I will look at a bear. I will draw my gun. I will cock it and I will point it at him. I'll go, "You go on your way, sir." And I'm leaving. Respect to you, but you better go on your way because you come this way, and I'm gonna unload on you. And he looks at me and he goes, "You will, just like you will end me." I go, "Yeah." So you go your way, I go mine. And if there ever came to it, it's a life and death fight. I'm going home. I'm going home to my family. I don't want to fight, but if that bear comes, And there are angry bears, there are aggressive bears, there are jerk bears. There's a bear that I was going to kill because he was a man eater. He was a horrible son of a bitch. And I talked to my colleagues. The next time I saw him, I was just going to shoot him, like son of a bitch of a bear. But that's one in hundreds of bears that I've had encounters with, right? But yeah, I go into it very. It's very, very serious. Like to get mauled or see somebody get mauled, that's horror. You think you know horror? I've seen horror. I've seen what these incredible beings can do, the way they tear and rip and kill, or they can kill, and that's horror. And that's not. It's game time. It's go time. It's like I'd be stepping into the octagon in a UFC fight when a bear comes around me. I want to leave that octagon and I want to be safe, but if he throws down, it's gonna be horrible. I'm not playing. I play for keeps. And when I have that mentality, when a bear looks at me and he gives me that, are you prey? And I go, I am playing for keeps. I am going home to my family. Respect to you, sir, but you better let me leave here. Otherwise, if one of us falls, it is going to be you. And the people who go on expedition, they see the change. You know, I'm out there, we're having a good time, I'm enjoying myself, but it's game time. It's kill or be killed is the way I see it. And I don't want that to throw down, but if he's gonna throw down that way, a bear aggressively charges at me, I'm putting bullets in him. You do not aggressively charge at me. It's not acceptable. I will not tolerate that. So don't do it. And that's how I feel about it. So am I scared of them? I let you decide, right? I just told you how I feel. So Todd, keep rocking on. Thanks for your research. Be safe, bro. I will. Thank you. Something Giants, hugging and mumming. Why are most Sasquatch encounters mostly so negative? I don't think so. That's an awesome question. I think people perceive it as negative, but it's not. They're just big, strong, giant primates. I mean, the males are going to be like, let's be honest, the gorillas, they are trying to hide stuff about things that gorillas do because they want people to come see the gorillas. Male gorillas beat the heck out of the females. They'll smash them. If there's cheating going on, like they gave a gorilla cake to a gorilla at the Calgary Zoo, like a specialty cake made out of vegetables and stuff, right? And they got her to go out first. She started eating it, and of course, when the big male came out, beat the hell out of that female, and then ate all the cake himself. Beat the hell out of her for going first. You don't eat that cake first. So that's not nice. That's abuse. If a human being did that, he would be hated and horrible, right? And Sasquatch are going to be, they're very similar to gorilla behavior, right? Do Sasquatch commit infanticide? A gorilla that takes over a gorilla troop kills all the babies because they're not his babies. Kills them all. Dead. Beats them to death. Kills them. They don't talk about that with gorillas because you won't like gorillas. You won't give money to gorillas if you know they commit infanticide. So do Sasquatch do that? Maybe. What would I think? Biologically, the chances are 50%, I would say. Good 50-50 because I really see the Sasquatch having 50% similarity between human beings and gorillas. More like I would compare them though to native trackers and gorillas specifically. So there's at least a 50-50 chance that they commit infanticide. That's the odds. That would be my statistics based on my knowledge and my limited understanding of them. And in fact, after I see how harshly they can deal with things, they'll growl at you, man, and they're just saying hi. So it's just you get scared, right? Khabib fan, nice, from Sun Goki. Yeah, I know who Khabib is. McGregor fan here, a little bit. I don't know. I was John Jones fan. So anyways, yeah, so I hope that answers your question. I fear the Sasquatch before the bears, no doubt. The bears are vicious, like you said. Just imagine the Bigfoot, unreal. Yeah, thanks, Alex. Thanks for your comment. I live in Northern California, and in my experiences, the Sasquatch here seem to be very angry here. Yeah, but maybe you're wrong, Chevy. Maybe you're wrong. So I'd like to talk to you more about that. I'd like to hear more. You know what? BigfootEncounter@gmail.com. Why don't you send me some stuff there? Chevy 427. I love the 427. One of my favorite engines, right? That's a crazy engine. I like it better than 454s. But yeah, send us. I'd like to talk to you more about that because I'd like to think you're wrong. So, and then here I am. I'm not going back to Northern California because I say that Sasquatch troop will kill me if I go back there. So, but generally, when I talk to people like this Chevy 427 guy, you're probably, if you're having Sasquatch experience a lot, it's because you're special. It's because there's something special about you. And if there's something special about you, multiple experiences. There's something special about you. When you're at that level where you're getting multiple experiences, you're probably very special. You're probably loving the wilderness, and they probably respect you, and they're probably trying to communicate with you. And I'm seeing this 95% of the time. Very rarely do I see someone who's getting multiple Sasquatch experiences and they feel it's negative, and then I talk to them and they go, "Oh, you're right." And it's so many times, so many times. It's a cliche now. When I really sit down and chat with them, they go, "Oh, it was. That is. You're right. You're right. That is wonderful." And I do. Cause they just come off harsh because they're baptized in the fire. They're survival of the fittest. You know, their dad owns the troop because he's the biggest, toughest Sasquatch around. That's why Jake left. He wanted to go be. He's not going to beat up his own dad. He's going to go. Jake went and got himself a new troop. Jake might have gone all the way up to Alaska, all the way down to Northern California. That's probably where he is now. He went down, beat the hell out of another Sasquatch. Right? These guys are baptized in the fire. When you're the biggest, strongest brute, you're the dad, you make the babies. That's how bears work. That's how chimpanzees, that's how gorillas, everything works like that. Sasquatch are no different. They're no different. So when you're a big beast and you beat things into submission, you're going to come off as harsh. But do gorillas love? Do gorillas cherish each other? Yes. Yes. Chimpanzees love each other. They cherish. You'll see wonder and generosity in chimpanzees, right? So anyway, McGregor all day. So I'm a UFC fan a little bit. So that's what I have to say about that. I think that answers the question really well. Hey, there's Cappy McCappy. I haven't seen you in a while. Or I haven't found you here. Tom Server. It depends on what to do. If I want to climb steep mountains, you need to be very good shape. Yes. I tell people on my expeditions, the fitter you are, the better chances of seeing a Sasquatch. Just the fact, because you're going to cover more ground, you're going to go into the better, scarier places. Do you think Sasquatch cannibalize other Sasquatch? Absolutely not. I don't know why I know that. That's my opinion. And I can even tell you why. They have great abundance with meat. A Sasquatch can wake up in the morning and go, "I want mountain goat today. I want bighorn sheep. I want deer. I want elk." Whatever they want. "I want to go eat some rabbits." I'm going to go catch some rabbits. Why would they eat Sasquatch? And actually, there's so many reasons, Cappy McCappy, that I would firmly, based on the biology, based on the science, based on my own experiences, based on the spirituality, on every single level, no way are they going to cannibalize other Sasquatch. It's extremely unlikely. It doesn't happen really in the biology with primates, and there's no reason for that to happen. But could I be wrong? Yeah. But that's my, please understand, that's my opinion. So when the California Bigfoot documentary is released, when's it released and where on Netflix? As soon as I get it done. As soon as I get it done. It's so much work, right? I'm doing it all by myself, so it's so much work. What is the oldest Sasquatch? What a good question. I don't think they'd get past 50. I just don't think so. I'd be really surprised because it's so hard. It's so harsh. My native teacher lived up into his 80s, and only because he was so healthy, he was so natural, he was so organic. Do you know what I mean? But man, his face was weathered, his body was beaten because of the weather and the climate and the difficulties in nature. I mean, he would go out for 3 years in the bush and come back. 3 years straight. No civilization, no people. So, and just based on the fact that Sasquatch grows so much, like a bigger dog, a little dog lives longer than a big dog. Great Danes will, the 6, 7, 8 years maybe. Little dogs, 14 years, no problem. So just based on these thoughts, these are my opinions. In fact, I think I've had some interactions with the old Sasquatch. I think he's the old shaman of my troop. There's an old Sasquatch that lives with the troop. He's old. Maybe he's the dad of maybe he's the grandfather of the Sasquatch. I don't know. So much more layers to this that I don't get. But there's definitely an old Sasquatch who's skinnier and older. Oh man, I would think he's 60. So there you go. I'm contradicting myself. It's hard, guys. It's hard to figure these. Maybe he's 70. Maybe he looks that old. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just speculating. Let's talk about it, right? I would have to say, yeah, he looks like he's in his 60s. I don't know. Just basing it on the way I see humans age, right? But gorillas don't age like that. I don't think gorillas live much past 40, the males. So it's just, let's talk about it. It's an interesting topic of discussion, and that's about it. So there's not going to be an answer until we can really start doing the proper research. How would you react if you didn't go out looking for them, but they wanted to show them? That's what I do, Steve. Steven Sukatyak, big name. yeah, how would I? That's basically what I go out. What I really do, Stephen, is that's what they do. They show themselves when they're willing. I don't, not anymore on expeditions, and most of what I do. That's why it's so hard now. Is I go out and I show them how much I love nature. I go out and show them how gentle and good I am, and how much I want to learn. And then my teachers, when the student is ready, the masters appear, and I'm the student, and they're the masters. And I try to make it fun for them. With the younger males, they have fun with me. Let's go play with this guy. He knows we're here. He knows we're the big bosses. He knows he's submissive to us, and they know Todd. They know my truck when I drive up. They know me, and they come and have fun. And so I make it fun. That's why I have success. It's fun. Look what he's doing. Look how fun Todd is. Look how fun Todd is when he reacts. So I try to give them joy, and play. I'm the Xbox. I'm the movie of the week. When I come around, Sasquatch can have some fun with me. So I try to make it like that. I try not to be boring. So that's my thing right now. So yeah, this summer is coming up, bro. This is Jason Whitley. Yeah, it is definitely Alex. Skinny Sasquatch. No way, lol. They are way too good for hunters. Well, just when I mean skinny, I mean he's old, right? He just has that old man look to him. You know what I mean? Like his legs are slimmer, and he's got that way about him where just older men look like that. That's where I get. I don't really see that. I don't know much about gorillas in the wild, so I don't see that so much. And the silverback that died at the Calgary Zoo, I didn't have much to do with him in the last years of his life, which really sucked. So had a terrifying experience in the 1970s while backpacking in the Adriatic and the air docks of NYA. Nightmare encounter with two Bigfoot. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Robert. Yeah, but don't be down on it, And maybe that's their home. Maybe they were mad at man. Maybe some man shot at him, right? And you were just the next guy around, Maybe they, there's lots of reasons. Don't be down on it. Be grateful. Yeah, I always say I don't care. Congratulations on your experience. I hope you weren't harmed. A nighttime encounter. It's not a nightmare encounter. It was a terrifying experience for you, and I'm sorry to hear that, Robert Senior. But congratulations. It's I just congratulations. Success with Sasquatch is such a big deal. It's such a rare thing. Nature, based on the many old photos of huge sets of bones, seems they're possibly burying them. Yeah, I don't know. They bury them or whatever. Hey Todd, it's supposed to be super rare, but if I found 5 or 6 turds in one little area, I find them in heaps around Brisbane. Oh, so that's Australia. Put them in an Insta. Thanks for following me. Check it out, Aussie. Well, congratulations, And what I would do is I would get Jeff Meldrum's hair morphology. He's got a little pamphlet. Get a microscope. You'll find hair in that scat, and hair, not fur. And if you could find hair, not fur, then you can analyze it. And if it's got the phenotype that if it's got the physical characteristics that Jeff Meldrum talks about, then you're golden. That's how you can really do it. That'll be the end of it, right? Is if you got this wild hair has those physical characteristics. So it can be done. It's light microscope, maybe $400, and Jeff Meldrum's little $10 pamphlet or whatever, maybe $20 for that, and then figure it out. Cabby McCappy says you need an animal communicator. Why can't I be an animal communicator? Because I'm not tremendously gifted at it yet, but I'm working on it. Todd, is that skinny old Sasquatch easier to approach? No. He comes near me, that's it. He makes the decision. And the more in love I am with nature, and the more I'm not thinking about Sasquatch, the more he comes around. I have to stop thinking about Sasquatch. I have to just love nature and be grateful to be out there. If I'm not thinking about Sasquatch, he seems to come around. Isn't that funny? So Phil says Bigfoot encounters can be sent to the website discoveringbigfoot.org via the contact page, or to Amanda at bigfootencounter@gmail.com. Please look at that, because I would love these encounters, guys. Phil and Amanda, awesome, amazing help. Thanks so much for tuning in today, Phil. I'm so grateful for your assistance. We got to talk, right? So we should have let's do it on like the 28th or the 28th. Let's have a talk, okay, Phil? Sorry, I'm so busy. It's that holiday season. Have a great holiday, all you guys, and specifically Phil, right? We're colleagues here, so everybody have a great holiday. You're all supporters, and thank you so much. That's Gravity. Oh wait, blinking here. Okay, I started gifting them. They gifted me back once with hickory shell. Cool. But also started coming much closer to me than before. A couple of times, one walked around the cabin trying to get my attention. Isn't that cool? Congratulations, Steve. You got to be selling it. Right above you, Steve, is Phil's. Please send those things. Bigfootencounter@gmail.com, please. if you're documenting this stuff, it doesn't take much, and we're extremely confidential. Whatever you want, Stephen, you get. I Who do I talk about? When do you hear me talking about somebody? If I talk about somebody and they want to be confidential, they got it. You got it. Confidentiality, 100%. Nothing has ever gone past us. If I ever had a colleague of mine give out information from a person who asked not to be given out, I would stop. That's a big deal. Confidentiality is enormous, and all my colleagues take it with the most absolute. It's very, very serious, and so please don't give us a location if you don't want to. There you go. You don't have to tell me. I'd appreciate to know the state, but you don't have to tell me north, south, east. Just start talking the information, and we'd love to help you out. So, Journeys of Jeff, you probably covered this before, but how do you think? I don't know if burying and stuff. I just don't know. Langchun, China. Look up the Gigantopithecus cave, and that's definitive evidence right there. I'm very convinced Gigantopithecus are the species of Sasquatch. They've evolved out of Gigantopithecus. I'm very convinced of that, and but based on science, based on Chinese PhDs. So can I pre-order the movie? The movie's not even done yet, John Binns. So no, I'm just not gonna. I did pre-orders last time and stuff, but I ended up just going with the distributors. So Yowie, very central from what I've heard. Yowie, very cerebral from what I've heard, and smaller and more aggressive is likely what the biology will tell me. Hotter places are more aggressive, more competition, and smaller, but still very powerful. And that's just based, like Yetis are smaller. The black bears in Canada are bigger and less aggressive. The black bears that are a subspecies of black bears that are in China are smaller and more aggressive. So that's just the way it works. Have I ever hunted? Yeah. I admire meat hunting, and I have killed a whitetail deer when I was learning my tracking skills, and I took a bite out of the heart, which was amazing and wonderful experience. And I intend to do more. I love elk meat, is my favorite. I've never killed an elk yet, and I'm going to use a gun because the deer that I killed, I hit him through the double lung and heart, and the bugger ran for I don't know, a mile still. So next time I hunt, I want to use a gun, and I want to hit him hard, and the animal will immediately die, fall right in its spot, quick death. I didn't like that arrow. It hurt my feelings that he ran and was bleeding out of the mouth when I got to him. I mean, he died, and it was a perfect shot with an arrow. I was very close to him, double lung through the heart, and there was a hole, and there was a cut in the heart where the arrow went through it. For goodness sake, and he still ran, a mile, and I was very unhappy about that. So, next movie question again. Just when I get it done, guys, I'm working on it. So, I'll tell you though, when I get it out to the distributor, he's ready to go, like movie out the door. This is an hour and a half, guys, that we've been doing this show, but. So they want it bad, and all they do is I just give them a finished movie, and they hit enter, click, enter, and it goes out, and it'll be distributed, and everybody wants it. It did really well last time. You guys want it. The distributor wants it. Netflix wants it. Everybody wants it, so they're gonna get it. It's hard. My budget's tight. I have to do the post-production. I have to do the sound. I have to do the editing because this is not. My budget is like nothing. It's $10,000. It's nothing. I have no budget for this movie. So the expeditioners and the donators are why this movie ever happens. So are there Sasquatch in Scotland? Absolutely, extremely unlikely. I would say no. Are there I just read that one. And Alex, last couple questions. What if you go a year without social media? I bet you find great sightings. I hope they can. Well, and you know what, Alex, I do go the season of really when I'm out there on expeditions. I do very little to no social media. I'll have colleagues that are working on it, but not me. But I'd like to have a video for every expedition, just something I can put together. So even just for my own recordings, right? Because there's something when you're there and you're in the moment and you're getting that. I forget about stuff. And even expeditioners, they'll send me their ideas of what happened. I had expeditioners that were charged by a Sasquatch, incredibly charged by a Sasquatch, and the majorest discovery they saw were a bunch of tree breaks. Better than the charge, a Sasquatch charged at us, and we proved it within a month that it was a Sasquatch. Busted over a tree, charged at us, and they were more impressed with a tree break system that they'd found, like a whole bunch of tree breaks that were really big, really tall, and they were tree breaks for Sasquatch. They weren't for people. We found them in the backcountry, and both of them were more impressed with that. I was like, but you were like within 100 yards of a Sasquatch. That wasn't the most impressive thing. You could have went, no way. It was those tree breaks, and I don't know. I need to know that. So, silly question: do they get cannabis? I don't know. Maybe. They have such a knowledge, they're going to know about it, right? I wish we could find credible analysis. Thank you for your answer. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. You're welcome. Okay, guys, I'm going to call it for the day. So, hello, Cynthia, and goodbye, everybody. And I don't know when I'm going to be back. Sorry. Check Facebook for that, because it's really Christmas holiday seasons, and I got to go to Vancouver right away. So, I don't know. I was thinking maybe I'll just check Facebook, and yeah, we'll just take it step by step, guys. I don't know. So we're working on it. So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Thanks so much, guys. And there'll be a new Saturday video, though. I know I said that last week, and I just crapped the bed on that. I really apologize. There's a new one. It's going to be it's a good video. It's taken me a long time to work on it. And yeah, just so much heartfelt gratitude, guys. I'm looking forward to what's going to happen with Sasquatch in the new year. And yeah, good night.